morning. As I am on my farewell tour, it would not be complete with this gentleman right here. Coffee County Mayor Dennis Hunt. Um, would you win your second term this time?
Well, it's not as complicated as it might
It
sound to some
does.
individuals, but the former mayor who passed away during his first term uh, moved me to the position of interim mayor. There was a special election held in August of 24 where I was elected to finish his 4 year term, and I have now been elected to my very own 4 year term.
Okay, all right. That because it's sometimes it's very hard to understand
Hmm.
when people leave.
Yes.
Like in Montego, we have got, and in Governor, we're going to have this too. So you've got a alderman who went up to mayor in this election, this upcoming municipal election, and he's sitting. So do they appoint before he takes mayor, or do they appoint when he takes mayor?
I think I can't talk intelligently to
Yeah.
municipalities
Yeah.
because municipalities pretty much operate by their own rule book
Uh-huh.
under charter.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm pretty well versed on county government, but I really can't speak to cities.
How long were you were on the county commission for a hot?
Starting in 2014, so that's what 12 years now.
I guess it has.
Hmm.
What was the biggest shock when you got elected to county commission?
The county commission, the biggest. Did you say shock?
Yeah, I guess when you get
The
elected.
money.
Yeah.
The money that passes through the county government. Yeah. And some of it, is questionable how it gets spent. And I have tried to address that because I do feel like I'm a fiscal conservative.
You've always
And,
been, yeah.
yeah. And so I took care of a lot of what I thought was unnecessary spending that I directly had control of. And I took care of that almost immediately upon becoming interim mayor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest thing is the money that passes through there and the complacency of our electorate.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. It's
Mhm.
hard. And your background, just for everyone to know, what's your
Well,
background?
I started my own business at the age of 22. That was in 1973 as a welding and machine shop and grew it into crane service and heavy hauling. That business has been scaled back somewhat when I thought I wanted to go into semi-retirement. So the business is still going. That's 53 years now that I've been doing this, and so it's been my business in Manchester because of the geographic location of Manchester, midway between Nashville and Chattanooga.
Yeah.
I was able to grow a company, a small business that is most associated with the larger cities. But the crane service, I had the largest crane service in the state of Tennessee that was not located in Memphis, Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, or the Tri-Cities.
Yeah,
So
Manchester is poised for. I mean, and growth was a part of your election this year. It was.
it could be considered part of it. The growth is, I can explain it. I like to compare growth can be like having a new baby, and the growth as you watch over the years. But growth can also be defined as something I've said with some humor involved, something that has to be surgically removed. It can be ugly. So we and our county legislative body has taken a proactive stance in Coffee County that we are going to implement responsible growth.
Right.
And what few actions we have taken regarding that is working perfectly.
Wow, congratulations. I know that was a big discussion because we're all experiencing growth.
The whole state is.
Oh, the whole
And every
state.
single county is dealing with it.
Yeah.
And some of them are being reactive, and I like to think we're being proactive.
You really are, and it's a freedom. We're all freedom lovers. That's just it's
Yeah.
in our DNA. Don't tell me what to do.
Right.
But I think it's also the responsibility of government to ensure the quality of life for the citizens.
Absolutely. And, zoning is the only tool you have
Yeah.
to prevent things. Our zoning resolution is not a permissive document, it's a preventative document.
Okay.
And it prevents you being encroached upon by undesirable land uses. And that's basically what zoning is all about. What can happen on land and where it can happen. So in the state of Tennessee, 95 counties, only 48, just over half, have countywide zoning. And as everyone knows, this catchphrase that has reached fever pitch nationwide, data centers.
Oh goodness.
We had the tool to address data centers, and we are doing that in Coffee County. Those 47 counties that do not have it, they're going to be in a vulnerable situation, and it's already happening in at least 2 counties right here in Middle Tennessee that already have data center plans on the table that they have no tools to actually prevent the negative effects of those.
Well, and explain data centers. I swear to goodness, I have no earthly idea what they are.
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
just seem like they take a lot of resources.
Yeah. Well, we carry on our hip a data center, but then we use this little miniature data center to access huge data centers. Every Facebook post, I'd say criticizing data centers, is using a data center to get that criticism out there.
Isn't that funny?
So it's somewhat hypocrisy is involved in some of this criticism. But the data center, the AI technology that everybody's, like I took a photograph of my wife and her new Bronco smoking the tire, said she's leaving to go to the beach. Well, those AI.
She's taking me with.
Yeah. So AI is going to be an unavoidable necessity in our national defense.
Sure.
So we have to embrace the fact that it's here and all that. But we once again, from a county government level, we have to protect the quality of life that our citizens expect.
Yeah. And water, I loved your, what is it, the hood chat?
From the hood.
From the hood, because I love that. And you're very just plain spoken on the facts of the issues at hand. And one of them was water.
Yeah, that was one of my very first ones because of the importance of fresh, clean, potable water that will sustain residential growth as well as commercial and industrial growth. Coffee County is the county in which the Duck River
Yeah.
begins.
Yeah.
It begins in Coffee County and it flows for nearly 300 miles. I think it's 297 miles, all within the borders of the state of Tennessee, but it starts in Coffee County. And I made the point that the Normandy Reservoir is the one body of water that all of Coffee County gets their fresh potable water from, and some neighboring areas of other counties.
Okay.
So we have to protect that, and there's multiple ways of doing that, and once again, a proactive stance on protecting our water resources.
Yeah, and what does that entail? Because with growth, just with everything, there's only a finite amount of water.
That's true. the video that I made, I said, our reservoir, which has a dam with spill gates, when all the communities and counties and municipalities downstream from us, when they get in a bind, we can open those gates and actually give them some more water out of our reservoir. Okay. But I made the statement, we don't have anybody but God to ask for more water. He has to provide some rain to refill that reservoir. So anyway, that's basically.
So you're always eyeballing that.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And the people that are operating the freshwater, the water treatment facility, the Duck River water treatment facility down there, they're not in a panic mode regarding the ability to provide the needed water for growth. They say we have plenty, but there are natural disasters called droughts. And if there are some drought periods that has sounded the alarm for the Duck River, the Normandy Reservoir, it reached dangerously low levels, I think, in 2008, and I might be wrong about the year.
No, it totally was. Because Montego ran out of water, 07, 08, and that's what caused us to reevaluate life.
Yeah. So anyway, I was. You mentioned my From the Hood videos.
Yeah.
I've tried to take every subject that is questionable and that people cannot seem to wrap their heads around it, and I try to explain it in layman terms.
Love it.
I think I've done 22 of those to date, and my favorite one is explaining how I came up with the idea. Country boys out there conduct so much business on the hood of their pickup truck.
True story.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, that the hood of your pickup truck out in the country is your desk.
True story.
You sign tractor orders and trade cattle, and so anyway, that's how I came up with that idea.
Are you going to continue that?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it really
I
helps.
did one while we were in the Smokies last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you
real
do?
neat one where we found, one of the more controversial subjects in Coffee County, where the old Stone Fort State Park, where the state of Tennessee removed a really fine example of a Pratt Truss steel bridge, and they got their way. We didn't get our way. But anyway, my wife Chris and I were driving through the mountains and got over into North Carolina in the middle of nowhere, and here's this beautiful Pratt Truss Bridge crossing the Pigeon River. So I did a From the Hood video on that one, and it turned out great.
You're still salty about that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. That is, sometimes you just can't win.
Right.
And y'all did everything possible.
Everything possible. We had our state reps on our side and engineers, but that it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Another thing that was very hot topic was the 5-acre agricultural something.
Well, that's tied directly to our proactive stance on responsible growth.
Okay.
And we have countywide zoning. Zoning has property district designations. We have a large area in Coffee County designated A1 for agriculture. Agriculture is the number one industry in the state of Tennessee. It contributes $103 billion to our, directly and indirectly, to our state's economy. I think that's very important. I'm an agricultural man. I live on a farm. I never farmed for a living. I've already explained what I did for a living, but
it's a hobby farm.
Yeah, basically. And I rent it it's 80 acres, and I rent it to a local farmer.
Good.
So anyway, what we did was, and this confused a lot of people, we have multiple districts in the county that are RS1, already designated for residential development, C1 that allows for small commercial and residential development, and the A1 district. Those are primarily the largest area of rural Coffee County. We're not speaking about either municipality,
Right.
which is Tullahoma and Manchester. So in the A1 district, we implemented a rule that said the minimum parcel size in the A1 district will now be 5 acres. But minor subdivisions, which are one parcel being divided into 4 or fewer parcels, that's a minor subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a piece of property and you wanted to divide it into 1, 2, 3, or 4 parcels smaller than 5 acres, you have the ability to come before the Board of Zoning Appeals and ask for a variance for that minor subdivision. And when I say subdivision, this is what gets people, including myself for years and years. Subdivision does not mean houses. Mm-mm. Subdivision, when you divide property, that is subdividing. Mm-hmm. That becomes a subdivision if there's never a home built on it. Mm-hmm. So that has been worked. Just this past Tuesday, we had I think there was 6 requests at the BZA meeting mm-hmm. for the subdivision variance on properties less than 5 acres. Mm-hmm. And our BZA, that's a 5-member board, has been looking at that. They deal with that, and they look at all of those, and they have their prerequisites and their questions that they look at. Out of the 6, 5 of those were approved. Okay. And and since it's been a little over a year, May the 13th, that this has been in effect, I think now we're up to at least 30 or 35 requests, and they have approved about 30 of the 35. Wow. So therefore, excuse me, it is working.
Yeah, because it's like a family. So you have a parent estate, you've got 3 kids, everybody wants to stay in the compound, so you split it up. That's a subdivision of a piece of property.
Right. And, excuse me, for example, there was an individual, an older man that had 32 acres. His home burnt. He didn't have insurance. He had the ability, the desire to sell 30 acres. He's aged. He couldn't take care of it, so he wanted to parcel off 2 acres. That's not 5 acres. Yeah. But he's in A1. He came before the board. He says, I want to split my 32 into 2 parcels, which is a minor subdivision. Right. One is going to be 30. The one I want to retain is going to be 2. The money I get for the 30 acres will build my new house on the 2 acres. Perfect. He got a thumbs up and made it.
That makes sense.
So it's not such a catastrophic thing that people, the naysayers, everybody's heads exploded, but mostly the developers and some realtors. Sure. Because prior to doing that, you could take 60 acres in the A1 district, which is far removed from all utilities that the municipalities provide, no sewers, right. No fire flow water, all that. It was, we had to address it. We just had to. You could take 60 acres and put 50 houses on it.
And you're required to, I think there was a new law, you're required to provide services for people, are you not?
Well, municipalities are. Oh. Counties are not.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, the county required, there's a lot. Our planning commission, this is all part of zoning. In our zoning resolution, which is a pretty thick document, and we're working on it constantly, making changes and amending and all that. But when an individual wants to do we have subdivision regulations. They have to make their streets so wide. They have to pave them. They have to do this. There's a lot of prerequisites.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I know Grundy County is going to have to do something.
Yeah. They're one of the vulnerable counties right now. And, since we're picking on Grundy County.
His wife's from Grundy County. We can say what.
Well, my wife was born and raised in Altamont. I always want to say that. Not as a disclaimer. It's actually, I'm bragging about that.
You should be, yeah.
I love Grundy County. And most recently, there was an entity that wanted to start a sand quarrying operation on Klaus Hill Road, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
And Grundy County used what they felt like was their only tool to prevent that. And of course, it got challenged in court, and the court came down and says, you have basically implemented zoning powers that you do not have.
Yeah.
So they lost that battle. So that is an excellent example of how zoning does protect. And it's like I said, it's more preventative than it is permissive.
Yeah, because no one, I mean, you know how the Grundy folk are. We don't want anyone telling us what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah. That is true.
But there's new folks coming in, there's new priorities, etc. So, future. By the way, thank you so much for I-1 Coffee County.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, so wonderful. The future. You've got 4 years. Any priorities for you in the coming?
Well, priorities would be maintain and protect what we've already done. Within my office, I have found close to $200,000 annually has been cut from the mayor's oversight.
Wow.
That's all department. I mean, well, it's not. I didn't get into a lot of the department. I put it within the mayor's office. I cut 2 positions. With our legal thing, we had an issue with cost overruns with legal representation. I addressed that immediately, and so combining all those 2, I've got the mayor's budget and what I control under control.
Okay.
So I'm sort of working on. We have other county-wide elected offices, and I can't tell them what to do.
No.
But I can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sheriff Chad Parton has done a great job for fiscal responsibility within the sheriff's office, and we got highways. The road superintendent gets his money from the state of Tennessee.
Sure.
When people pull up, a lot of people, they gripe about potholes and I pay my taxes. Well, your property taxes have nothing to do with highway maintenance for the most part. When you pull up to a fuel pump and pump gas in your car, then you're paying the taxes that is supposed to take care of your local roads. And the state of Tennessee collects all those fuel taxes. Then they have a formula in which they decide which counties get back how much. Like Coffee County, I don't know, we probably got 100 fueling stations, but maybe Benton County or O'Brien County might have 15 gas stations, but they have a lot of roads. So there's a formula by which the state of Tennessee distributes those monies back.
Well, we have an issue because we don't have the kind of population, whatever formula that they use, does it, because we do tourism. I mean, that's what we have. And they don't pay for the roads.
Right.
And so, anyway, it's kind of interesting. Speaking of Bonnaroo.
Correct. That's a good subject to get off on.
Yeah, what up?
Right now, Bonnaroo, who I've been a big fan of, my business in crane service, I've never missed a Bonnaroo, but I used to, before they bought the property, I'd go out there with a crane, put up the main stage, help them with that, and then take it back down when they were renting. So I've been a big fan of Bonnaroo, and I know that they bring in a lot of revenue.
Okay, they do.
For local businesses.
Okay.
One thing happened in 2021 during the COVID shutdown. Bonnaroo canceled that 1 year. They did not have a show. Well, the city of Manchester and the officials with Bonnaroo got their heads together that next year and decided that Manchester wanted to annex the facility. Bonnaroo asked for it, and that's the only way you can annexation. This has to do with some growth too as well. Municipalities in the state of Tennessee can only annex property when the property owner requests it, and it has to be in the designated urban growth boundaries that's already set aside for that. And in Coffee County, the two municipalities, we only have two municipalities, both of them have a rather large urban growth boundary set aside for their future growth. All right, Manchester took advantage of that, and Bonnaroo decided they would prefer to be in the city where they could get some city sewer services and stuff like that that the county does not provide.
Sure.
So when that happened, all the sales that take place on that site, the sales taxes then move from the county to the city. So Coffee County, with the recent announcement that Bonnaroo will not return in 2027, we don't know about beyond. We'll just be a wait and see. Coffee County, we're not losing revenue at all regarding that. I'd say it's minuscule compared to what Manchester will lose. Because all the individuals that come and congregate early and stay there and spend money at the gas stations leaving, Walmart, all of that takes place within the boundaries of Manchester. Yeah. There's a few, I'm going to say just a few people make stops at the Dollar Generals that are out in the rural areas on their way to and from Bonnaroo. That money will go away, but I don't consider it a large amount. What I am concerned with is the hotel motel tax. Coffee County did by private act, we now collect a occupancy tax on all the motels, and every one of them are located within the city of Manchester and Tullahoma. So we are able to collect that tax. That could be significant, but I don't think it's going to break the bank. Okay. We'll be checking into that.
What about Manchester? They've been having some bugaboos over there.
That would be, they will feel it. They will feel the absence of Bonnaroo significantly. Okay. And that's
what that
is.
That
is, yeah.
That conference center over there, that when that changed, did that affect any finances?
Well, the conference center has always been, I don't know, it's just been something that I supported the conference center and the way it was run. It never turned a profit. That's been the argument against it. It never turned a profit. Well, the peripheral, what it brought in hotel motel tax. They didn't collect it, so it wasn't on the hotel motel tax. What people spent while they were in town eating at restaurants didn't show up on their books, but it still showed up. So anyway, I really need a bottle of water.
I know, and I wish I had one for you, Dennis. I'm apologizing.
I'll just keep coughing if y'all just bear with me. But anyway, so the conference center, the facility, the real property, 50% is owned by the city of Manchester. 50% is owned by Coffee County. And there was an agreement when people they just pushed hard enough to shut it down. They finally, there was an agreement in 2015, I think, whereas Coffee County opted out of any operational cost because we were having to contribute. Let's just say if the conference center spent $100,000 more than they took in, Manchester would put in $50,000, we would put in $50,000. And that just did not sit well with a whole lot of citizens or county commissioners. Sure. So they finally did something about it. We're going to get this thing gone. Well, Manchester City said, well, we want to keep it, and we'll take care of any cost overruns. So it kept operating, and I've never been to an event there that I felt like it was subpar prior. I think the new city government administration has went in there with a with a chopping axe and a chainsaw, and we're just making huge changes, and it's still in operation, but it's totally under city control. I, as a county resident, paying county taxes, I feel like it's not a good investment. The residents of Coffee County that pay property taxes, which include residents, property owners in Tullahoma, the property owners in Manchester, and all the property owners in the rural area. We have spent millions on that facility. We're not getting anything back. I will be advocating pretty quickly for selling the conference center.
Wow, okay.
I think it needs to be sold.
And then everybody.
And then I prefer that it go to the private sector and make an event center. It could be with a nightlife, with dance floors. There's just multiple opportunities, I feel like, that the private sector can offer us in that city. Then it's going to be generating property tax, which it does not any now. It would also generate sales tax. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. And just like the museum where the new Wawa is being built there at Exit 114, just right up the street from the conference center, there was a time when that facility I felt like was in the same category. We were getting no return on property that we donated to this nonprofit, and they quit operating the museum, so it reverted back. And there was I advocated for putting it in the hands of a realtor who do these things professionally. We finally got it done that way. We had an online on-site auction. We were guessing it'd bring $900 to $1 million. It brought $2.5 million. And so that was a win-win for Coffee County taxpayers. I feel like the same process needs to be applied to the conference center. That way, if Manchester City really wants it, they need to stand there and bid on it during the auction. Yeah. And if they get it at a bargain basement price, good for them.
Yeah.
But get some money back in the coffers for Coffee County to be spent on infrastructure and new facilities that are needed. We need a new justice center. Our school board is looking, they want to build a new school and renovate existing schools. We need that revenue for those expenditures.
Well, it's here. Coffee County's in safe hands. Are you pleased with your legislature as well? Did the elections?
I think we will still have an experienced county legislative body. We have 9 districts in Coffee County now, representative districts with 2 commissioners elected from each district. So we have 18 commissioners. Of the 18, we had 14 reelected.
Okay.
So we have an experienced legislative body to move forward for the next 4 years. And I feel like, I don't feel like you're going to see any, I would say, departures from our legacy legislation that happened in the last 4 years. So I think we're in good hands.
In good hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I think Grundy's in great hands too. So because we're basically partners in everything. Coffee and Grundy, you've got Rush. We share Janice, we share Scott, and I think that's it.
Well, you share my wife.
We do.
Chris.
And Craig's out there, we have a 12th Judicial, and then Craig gets his own fiefdom over there. So
right.
I love me some Craig. Last thing is the big coffee pot and the rivalry between Tullahoma and Manchester. Who do you think's going to win this time?
I'm not going to go there. I grew up in the rural areas of Coffee County. I've never been anywhere else. And I went to school in Tullahoma. My dad worked inside Tullahoma, so he hauled my brother and me both every morning. I started first grade at East Lincoln Elementary and graduated from THS. but then my business, my residence has always been in Coffee County, so I have to remain independent on
Yeah,
that.
you're both. Yeah, you're both. Well, it would be great because I love the mayor of Tullahoma, Lynn Seaburn.
He's a good guy. He's
Just
a good friend.
so super smart. He
Yep.
was great on the county commission.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very very fiscal conservative, and so, but it hurts because there's a rivalry there between Tullahoma and
It can get
Manchester.
ugly, but all of us outgrew it.
Okay, good.
Right now, I mean, the minute you graduate high school, we all become one. The friends that I made after I graduated in Manchester are lifelong friends, and the same goes for all of the students and my fellow graduates from THS. We're still lifelong friends. So, like during the campaign, I had at least, I think, 3 of my former classmates work the polls for me, that live in Tullahoma. So, it's, and Scott Hargrove, is worth sharing. Scott Hargrove, the new Coffee County Schools director,
Okay.
he also graduated from THS.
Aw.
So he and I are sort of both in the same boat. We can't really get out there and
Well, that's good.
clap for both.
Well, that's
We just
good.
say we're clapping for both.
We're
but
clapping for-
yeah.
I was very impressed by the Tullahoma school board candidates. I was very impressed. I think our school board really is the most
Yep.
important thing that
Yeah,
we have.
we've had a shake up on our Coffee County School Board. There, we had some questionable decisions made by our school board, and that was regarding the director, superintendent, whatever title you want to put on that. Charles Lawson, for whatever reason, the today's school board, the new one hasn't taken office yet. The school board, the prior school board, wanted to get rid of him, and this is what they took a vote and sent the man home with pay, and hired an interim director, so that was double pay. And then we wound up, they appointed Scott Hargrove and put him on the payroll. For a short period, they were paying 3 directors.
I feel you.
It was just not.
It's crazy.
It was bad optics. And so, interestingly enough, the Charles Lawson that got canned by the school board ran for school board and got elected. So he will now be sitting on the school board.
Isn't that funny?
So the start after September 1, school board meetings will be worth watching, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's going to be spicy, or you think they're going to make some good decisions?
Oh, well, I know that the experience level of the new, I think that's 3 new members on that school board, and they bring with them, I think 2 of them were prior members.
Nice.
So I think they come to the board with experience.
Good.
And I feel like there'll be some good decisions made there.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that way in Grundy with a school board. We fight. We've paid 3 superintendents before.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean,
Yeah.
that just hurts my heart.
Yeah,
you know?
it's senseless. Is the
It
best
just
thing
goes
I'd say.
back and forth, 5-4, 4-5, like forever, and you wonder why things get crazy. But I think elections matter, so here we are.
Yeah.
You've got Coffee County's set, don't you think?
I think Coffee County's in good shape. There's always, everybody says you can never please everybody, and that applies to being in government. There's no doubt about it. But I think my election was pretty much, I guess, would be considered a mandate. I don't vote on anything. If there's a full membership of 18 commissioners present at a county legislative body meeting, and there's a 9-9 vote, I'm there. I can cast a 10th vote to
Okay.
make something happen.
Okay.
That's never happened since I've been in county government. It's never happened that the mayor had to break a tie.
Okay.
But as serving as I am at this point serving as chairman of the legislative body and also the mayor, The chairman, something that might interest folks, when a county mayor accepts the position of chairman of the legislative body, he relinquishes the right to veto county legislative body actions.
Oh.
If I do not sit in the chair, I have that power to veto. I don't know that I've ever seen a vote
Wow.
taken on anything that I felt like should have been vetoed and revisited. As a county commissioner, I maybe once, and I've seen other county commissioners, when they know they've made a mistake, you make a motion to rescind or a motion to reconsider. So there's a pathway to right wrongs
Sure.
that the body may make. So, having said that, I like being chairman because I am a study of Robert's rules, and I adhere to those, and I demand that the body adhere to those.
Good.
And we don't have any very little disruption anymore. I've sat through some clown shows in that commission hall years ago, and I like I told Judd Matheny when he was elected, I said I've sat through some just unacceptable exchanges, and I said I'm not going to sit through another 4 years of this.
Mm-mm.
And he did a good job. He did a good job as chairman. So I'm carrying that on.
Well, it's important. And in these elections, they get ugly. People get ugly. And our own leadership should not be. There should be decorum. There can be differences of opinion, as there should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if we all agreed, what's the point?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's the spirited discussions that are good, but Robert's rules allows us to do that well.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
It just allows people.
Well, it keeps it flowing, and it doesn't allow for grandstanding and stuff like that. So.
All right, I know we went all over the moon here. Any last words? I'm just so glad to have you on. We've been talking about this for a hot minute.
I apologize for not coming up earlier.
You're busy.
What's your plans?
I'm gonna be a mama.
Okay.
And then I don't know what then.
Yeah.
I'll be free. It's kind of like semi-retirement, right?
You're not moving.
No, I'll be in both places.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a camper. I put it right behind Taylor's house, and Mama's gonna be out of the way and there while she needs me. And when she kicks me out and says, Mom, I got this, then I'm
great.
Well,
good for you.
No, you can't get rid of me.
Good for you.
But I am gonna semi-retire and enjoy life.
Good. We have our daughter and son-in-law live right next door to us, adjoining. They're 8 acres, join our 80. And they have 4 lovely grandkids of ours. 4. We got a path through the woods, and they come over. It's great.
See, and that's what I think is super important. Life is very important, what you do, but then at some point you've got to make it all work with your own family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you've got the perfect situation. So.
Yeah. I would like to share with the folks that I'm not totally out of place as a Coffee County resident and Coffee County mayor being here. My grandfather owned a 53-acre farm down in Hubbard's Cove, and I spent a lot of my childhood, the first 15 years of my life, was spent on that farm as much as I possibly could. And we made the trips up to Chester's Market in Altamont and traded eggs for groceries. And it was a wonderful childhood, and Grundy County played a very important part of it.
Oh, and you can tell it's a great partnership that we have. And Hubbard's Cove that's old. That's where everyone came in, that Northcutt Cove.
Yep.
And Pelham, the valleys.
Yep. It's a great place.
Well,
I love coming to the mountain.
I know. I love having you. You'll have to poke around. Any last words before you head out?
No, I just want to thank you for all you've done. And, you've been for the Republican Party and conservative movements within Middle Tennessee. You're I think you've reached iconic state. So, Iva,
I'm out
everybody knows Iva. So we're
I'm from
proud
the
to
mountain.
yeah, we're proud to have you.
Well, and like I said, even though I lost the SEC race, which it went to, I mean, a beautiful couple. I love the Alexanders. They've served very long, and in our world, we can shake hands and move on,
There you go.
right? And so I'm just proud. I won, of course, Grundy. Thank you. And but coffee, I'm super proud because I love Coffee County.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
all good people. It's been a journey, and when Armageddon happens, I expect y'all to keep it before it hits to the mountain, and you'll always have a plate
There you go.
over
There
here.
you go.
So thank you so much for what
Yep.
you do, and I'm going to send him out to spread joy and sunshine wherever he goes. And as always, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching Morning on the Mountain. See you in a minute.